So in this video we're going to create an audit, and on the system you'll find there's an audit management dashboard which you can select using the cog, and you can see we have panels for internal, external audits, non-conformities, opportunities for improvement, and any actions resulting from to address non-conformities. And if you look on the entities menu, you can see that we do have an audits group here where we have all of those different types of entity: internal, external audits, non-conformities and OFIs. So they're grouped together, and of course what you capture for these, you can link these together and then you can see the details on the dashboard. So I'm going to go and log an internal audit. You can use these for your ISMS audits, control audits, risk audits, site audits, team audits, whatever you want to capture within the ISMS. And also you can capture certification audits and external reviews in this entity type. So let's go to internal audits, and I will raise an example control audit. So this will be an audit of HR controls. It's just an example. So we tend to have these for our ISMS, a dozen or so of these audits through the year, just sweeping up different themes, different control areas within the standard, and make sure we look at each control area at least once a year, some more often, and that's how you would build your audit schedule. So I'm going to file this internal audit in my audits part of the tree, and here I can describe what the audit's going to include, but it's going to be basically controls to do with HR, which I will link in due course. So what we have here is various fields, configurable fields. Again, here I can choose my type of audit. Let's say it's an ISMS related audit, a controls audit. There we are. So we've got some types there. This one is, I'm going to schedule this, and the date which I put in for that audit here, this will be the date I'm going to do it. So let's say I'm scheduling this for August. We've got some configurable fields which of course you can adjust. Who will the auditors be? What are the criteria? When do we report it, etc. So we have then ultimately a result. So this is these fields are aligned with the ISMS clauses within 27001, so that you can capture the right information for audits. But of course they can be adjusted. So let's just show you how we would typically capture details for a controls audit. So I've created the entity, and then I can link items to it. So I'm going to link, because it's an HR audit, I'm going to drill down into the people controls, and I think these are the controls that I would want to address during that audit. So I can select those and link them. What's quite useful, of course, is I'm linking the controls as they've been last assessed. So I've got a mixture. This is random data, of course, but I've got a mixture of deployments here. Now once an ISMS is up and running, I'd expect the deployments to be a bit healthier than this, and what I'm doing in the audit is drilling down, checking that controls are actually being evidenced and delivered in the way described in my procedures, and then capturing any non-conformities. And what we do in our ISMS is we add any non-conformities that we find during this audit and link them to it. So as you can see here, I can either link non-conformities or opportunities for improvement that I might find during this audit. So I'll show you how you'd capture a non-conformity, perhaps in relation to the screening process. I'll add a new non-conformity, and maybe I found that records for a certain person were incomplete. So maybe we were missing vetting information or some sort of pre-employment check or whatever it was. I can put my details in here, capture all the details of the non-conformity, and obviously there are categories. These are non-conformities from an internal audit. We're investigating whatever it is. How serious was this? I'll say it was minor, and then I can put in any other details that I wish. These are all configurable fields for non-conformities. That's then linked. So the idea is that as you go through the audit, you can add in the same way any other non-conformities, and then for each of those we can drill through and add an action to them. So at the end of the audit, we can then record the overall result using the configurable fields, and then ultimately we can produce a report for management. And we have some automation to produce a report with all of these details using Power BI Report Builder. Please do speak with Acuity if you'd like some more information on how that works. But this is how we capture audits, non-conformities, and the same with opportunities for improvement. I can add those, all linked to the audit in which they were raised. Back on the home screen, you'll then see a summary of how many audits, how many non-conformities by each status and impact, and obviously also any opportunities for improvement and actions linked to non-conformities that I've raised. And these are picked up by the action type, which is specifically for non-conformities.